Hey, it's Tuesday with Terri. How to make you the rock star of your next presentation and gear up those communication skills. I am so excited about today's segment. I'll tell you why. Last week, I did an amazing interview with Ellis and Godek. Ellis is the person behind Leading with Honor. He's a former POW. He's a leadership expert. And he got together with Godek and wrote this book. Greg, you may know or have heard of, that he wrote 1,001 Ways to Be Romantic. Well, the odds of these two putting together a book that talks about love and romance with fighter pilots and war stories from Vietnam is already kind of interesting, but oh my goodness, what came out of it, besides the 12 amazing stories of relationships that survived and thrived and marriages after the Vietnam War, after these people had been incarcerated at the Hanoi Hilton as prisoners of war for anywhere from 5 to 8 years. Well, here's what came out of it. This is what really excited me, was the communication piece. You know, we talk about words, and words are only 7% of what we really communicate because words mean different things to different people. Well, at this particular juncture of their lives as being POWs, they couldn't speak to each other. So they had to devise new ways to communicate. They used blinking. They used hand signals. They used tapping. They used little pieces of paper. You know, that is what we found in I'm No Hero from Charlie Plum, who was a POW for 8 years at the Hanoi Hilton. And we've got 1,000 books on communication. But here's what came out. The communication was the glue, basically, that held the community together. The community helped them survive. So just so you don't underestimate the power of these things we do with our phones and with speaking to each other and through text, communication is what creates the connection that connects us all. And how we do it and why we do it, and if we can do it in a way that doesn't distract, that makes you so powerful because all we have is the moment in time when we actually connect with another human or another living thing. So the book talks about their challenges to communicate. And at one point, they were put into literally a cage, 55 men in 1,600 square feet. Well, if you know anything about this, the training behind Lorenz, Conrad Lorenz, who talked about how this, when he did this with animals and rats, it would cause this huge aggression. Well, the opposite happened. They became the glue, the support, the power of these high ego people, these men that were clearly not having their best days because they were being tortured. But they taught each other languages. They told stories. They recited Bible. They created a community based on the limited communication that they had. So the reason I'm bringing this to you is we've got a ton of good books on persuasive communication. This was done by Eric Oliver, an expert trial consultant. We have books from Stephen Covey. We have books on communication. But here's what you need to know. Communication is fragile, fleeting, and fragmented. So if you want to get someone's attention and you are connecting with them, be present in the moment. Use eye contact. Watch the tone of your voice. If you're a high D, you're going to go out and just put it out there. If you're an amiable, you're going to ask to have some sweet tea first, quite possibly. And if you're like me, you're going to use a lot of hand gestures and excitement, which will put the analyticals a little bit back because it's a little too fast and they haven't quite decided if they want to trust you or not. When you understand the behavioral styles, emotional intelligence, if you understand the neurolinguistics, the nonverbal communication is really powerful. So just for this week, practice purposeful communication. Know that if they can do it for 5 to 8 years while being tortured and come up with the strongest community and support for each other, imagine what it can do in a sales presentation when you're working with a jury, working with a judge, or just working with your family and friends. Be the best communicator you can be. And we have 10 tips on it if you'd like my ebook at terrimurphy.com. If you want a little bit more information about the book, Captured by Love, Inspiring Stories of Romance Stories from the Vietnam POWs, Go to leadingwithhonor.com. They'll give you 2 free chapters. And if that doesn't spur you into wanting to know more about how communication helped these people connect, and that connection went to a community that still exists today. I'm Terri Murphy, always here to help you present like a rock star and be irresistible from any platform. Join me every Tuesday. I am Terri with TerriMurphy.com. We'll see you next Tuesday.